What is cast? Good evening. The Arcane detective here. Today's case file is on Rodion, the ninth sinner of the Limbus Company bus department. Gender is female, age is unknown but estimated to be in her early 30s, and height is 183 centimeters or 6 feet. Rodion is noted for being very tall, being the second tallest out of the sinners. She has brown hair and wears the standard Limbus Company uniform, with the exceptions of not wearing a tie, wearing a choker instead, and having a black belt on. Rodion also has a tattoo of an anatomically correct heart with an axe in it. It should also be mentioned that Rodion is usually called Rodia, though it should be noted that both Rodion and Rodia are a shortening of her actual name. The personality report from Limbus Company is the following. The unfortunate traits of being backstreet born are apparent in this sinner. She loves money, gambling, and betting, so it is advised to pay close attention to her as the manager. She tends to deflect orders with an unimpressive wink or a silly joke. We recommend taking a stern stance at times to remind her that you are her superior. Her mood may be down at irregular intervals. There is nothing you can do to aid her in that state, so we recommend waiting for it to pass. The personality report is very much spot on in describing Rodion, as she does love acquiring currency and gambling, though it does neglect to mention her love for food as well. Rodion also gets along with the other sinners very well, being able to connect with most of them, but especially with Gregor, though Rodion also gets along with Honglu in particular, as shown when the two of them gave Heathcliff a makeover. Rodion is also known for calling the sinners nicknames, such as calling Gregor Greg or Don Quixote Chiquita. Despite this casual nature, Rodion does have a tendency to get depressed when reminded about the past or her lack of specialness. Though Rodion usually tries to cover these feelings, as time has gone on, Rodion's emotional mask seems to be slipping more. In combat, without the use of identities, Rodion uses an axe called Pakyon, which means split or division in Russian. Rodion's current known identities are LCCB Assistant Manager, N-Corp Mittelhammer, Zwei Association South Section 5, T-Corp Class 2 Collection Staff, Korakama Clan Wasasu, Rose Spanner Workshop Rep, DC Association South Section 4, Lu Association South Section 4 Director, Dervet Association North Section 3, and the Princess of La Mancha Land. Rodion's current known ego are What is Cast, Rhymeshank, Ever-Essent Corrosion, Fourth Match Flame, Perseverance, Hexnail, and Sanguine Desire. Rodion's history begins in the backstreets of District 25, where Rodion was part of a group called the Eurodive, a syndicate aimed at the redistribution of wealth and changing the city for the better. Though Rodion would leave the group due to disagreeing with the actions of the Eurodive, or more aptly, the lack thereof, as the Eurodive would spend more time debating how best to change the world than actually helping people. This sloth on the part of the group would lead Rodion to take action, as in the village where she lived, there was a tax collector who was corrupt and taking more of the people's wealth than was necessary, so Rodion killed her with an axe. Unfortunately, this would have the unintended consequence of drawing the ire of the Middle, one of the fingers of the city, a syndicate that is well known for its disproportionate punishment. Hence, everyone in that village was killed by the Middle. It is unclear what Rodion did after the events of District 25. However, it is clear she spent some time in J-Corp. Rodion was familiar with J-Corp when Virgilius mentioned that this was the destination for the bus. It also is clear from her Limbus Company ID badge that she spent some time in a place where dressing like a flapper was permissible, which sounds like J-Corp to me. Rodion is the ninth sinner recruited by Faust, which means Rodia joined after Ishmael but before Dante. Now for the theories and speculation. Rodion might have a sister, as in the book that Rodion's character is based on, Crime and Punishment. The main character, Rodion, does in fact have a sister. Rodion in the book is also a former law student, meaning that Rodion might also have gone to law school. And this is also hinted at in Time Killing Time, as Rodion makes quite intellectual remarks. There is also a significant chance that Rodion does in fact get a Eurodive ID. This would mostly be around the time of Rodion's Purgatory Canto. Well, speaking of the Purgatorio Canto, it is also quite possible that Portvi Posovitz, the head of investigation in Crime and Punishment, may show up as an antagonist, perhaps even joining Herman's group. I would also like to put forth the idea in this case file that other works of Fyodor Dostoevsky, the man who wrote Crime and Punishment, will be used in Limbus Company as well. Consider the fact that one of Rodion's passives is called Gambler. Coincidence? I think not. And in fact, Crime and Punishment has no mention of gambling. It is also more likely that Project Moon is taking creative inspiration from multiple different works of Dostoevsky, and I would be surprised if this wasn't true for the other sinners as well. Well, that's it for this case file. I hope you all have a good day, and as always, good evening.